Welcome to another Wizard Wenzel Wageo video. In this video I'll be explaining the various utilities for the Dragon Link extra deck, including the mainstays as well as some various tech choices. I intend to do this in multiple parts, with this part discussing the various synchro monsters you can play, because I feel if I crammed everything into one video, it would just be way too long and way too boring. First card I'm going to look at is Chaos Ruler, Chaotic Magical Dragon, one of the best synchro monsters in the deck. I'm sure most of you know what this card does, but maybe I can teach you something new. So the first effect, to excavate 5 cards and add a light or dark monster among those, aims to do one or more of 3 things. Let me put my hand higher to actually have my fingers show up. 3 things. The first one, you're adding a light or dark hand trap to hand, something like Effect Veiler, Nibiru the Primal Being, or Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. You're adding an extender to hand, or you're sending cards you want in the graveyard to the graveyard, like Starleech Seyfert, Water Enchantress of the Temple, or Chaos Space, to name a few. The second effect, to summon it back from graveyard by banishing a light and dark monster from hand or graveyard, lets you extend even further. To dodge this card being banished after it leaves the field, just use it for rank 8 XCs, combining it with the Chaos Dragon Levianeer or Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon, that you've already excavated, because you always do. Believe in the Chaos Ruler mills, and they will be good. The next synchro is usually made using Chaos Ruler plus a level 1 tuner, which is Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, which needs a tuner plus a Dark Dragon synchro and has 2 effects. The first lets you negate a face-up card on the field, so that can be a monster, spell, trap, whatever, as long as you're able to chain to it, so something at spell speed 2 or lower. So it can even negate Dark Ruler No More or Forbidden Droplet with the right setup. I know about those cards, especially with Droplet if you send Monster, or Dark Ruler just inherently you can't chain to them, but if you chain a spell or trap to Dark Ruler Droplet, so let's say you have a set Dimensional Barrier, you chain D-Barrier to Dark Ruler. So D-Barrier Chainlink 1 is Chainlink 2, Dark Ruler Chainlink 1, your opponent has nothing to respond, then you are able to chain the Hot Red and target the Dark Ruler in that case. So once the chain resolves, Dark Ruler is negated, you get your D-Barrier, call whatever you want, and then they're down a card and don't get to play because you D-Barriered them. Second effect, to summon a tuner from graveyard when it deals battle damage. Lets you put up additional interactions during main phase 2, because just make sure that you remember that it summons the tuner in defense mode. The last common synchro in the extra deck for Dragon Link is Borreload Savage Dragon. Since it negates activations, you can chain it to a continuous spell or trap or a field spell, and since the activation was negated, it goes to graveyard, allowing you to stop a Mystic Mine activation, for example, unlike Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, which had only negate it for the turn and it would stay on the field. Another thing to note for Borreload Savage is that if it gets its effects negated by something like Dark Ruler, it loses all the Borrel counters that it has. As well, the equipped Link monster goes to graveyard because it was equipped through Savage's effect. The other thing to remember is this card is that the effect to equip a synchro monster from graveyard does not target. So if your opponent chains DB Crow to Borreload Savage's effect activation, and let's say they banish your Triple Burst Dragon, which is Link 3, you would still be able to equip something like Krishan Halki Fibrax from your graveyard and still get 2 counters and a 750 attack. So Red Dragon Archfiend Scarlight is the last level 8 synchro you could play. This is more of a tech choice to help you win in time with the time rules. As if time's called during your main phase, what you can do is you can make this instead of the other level 8 synchros, and as long as you can destroy an effect monster on either field with its effects, you'll deal at least 500 life points of damage, and then you will end up winning the match. So that's it for the synchros that you play in a pure list. But if you aim to play the adventure package, there are 2 additional synchro monsters that you should definitely be playing. The first card being Baron de Fleur. You're most likely summoning Baron with Red Rose Dragon, which you probably summon off Krishan Halki Fibrax, and a level 7 like Wandering Griffin Rider, which replaces the negate you lose by Griffin leaving the field when you summon the Baron de Fleur. So that way you have something to be able to respond if your opponent has a hand trap such as Nibiru. It also works well going second, because you can target and destroy a card your opponent controls. The last card I'm going to discuss in this video is Shooting Riser Dragon. You're either making this with a Rose Dragon, a level 4, like the Adventure token, or you're using Krishan Halki Fibrax's effect to summon it on your opponent's turn. Usually you're sending either Fairy Tale Snow or Token Collector with this card to graveyard, but just remember you can't activate the effect of what you send the turn that you send it. But the good thing is that because you're sending a level 4 monster most of the time with this, Shooting Riser becomes a level 3, so that you are able to use it to summon your Link 1s like Striker Dragon or Guard Dragon Pissy. As well, it does have a neat utility. If you get stopped where all you have left is Crush Shot, Healthy Fibrax, and a level 7 on the field, you can, on your opponent's main phase, summon Shooting Riser, dump a level 4 monster to make it a level 3, and then you can use Shooting Riser's quick effect to summon Baron de Fleur with your level 3 and your level 7. As well, since Shooting Riser is a light monster, it also helps us with some of our Chaos plays, like bringing back Chaos Ruler. So that concludes the Synchro monsters that you'd play in Dragon Link, whether it be the Pure build or the Adventurer build. If you have any suggestions, be sure to leave them in the comments, and I will see everyone in the next video.